Alright, today we're going to continue with the last couple drawings in our multi-view section, and now we're going to be drawing this end clamp. So before we go too far, I want to go ahead and make sure we make a couple changes to this. One is this 1.88, this should be 1.875, and then we should also take this 1.87 and make that 1.875. Now on the top drill through, we're also going to make this 0.25. Okay, so now we've rounded off all these. Let's go ahead and make those fractions. So that's 1/4 of an inch, 1.875. So that's 1 7/8 right here. 1 7, and then this one is also 1 7/8. Okay. Now let's go ahead and begin. We're first going to make a little 1/2 inch border on the inside of our border for the edges of the front and side view, sort of like what you've seen in the previous videos. So I'm going to go 1/2 here, and I'm going to go 1/2 up here. And then I'm going to use my T-square to make this first edge, this border. And you'll see why I'm not making the other border quite yet. So that's one edge. And then we're going to go another edge. Alright, so we're going to anchor the front view down here. That means right here, have front view. Okay, so starting with our front view, looking this way, we want to go ahead and find out our maximum height and width. So our maximum width is 3.75 and our height is 3. So we're just going to go ahead and mark that block out here. So we're going to go 3.75, which is 3 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to go up 3. I'm going to make that. Now we want to close that in because we know this is a closed shape. Okay, now we've created the block out for the front view. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is find this big circle in the middle. This big circle in the middle is 1.875 or 1 7/8 over. So we're going to measure over 1 7/8. 1 7/8 to here. And then we'll do the same thing on the top. And this is going to be carried all the way throughout as a center line. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, so on. So that you have a center line as such. Now, our circle is 1 7/8 inch diameter. So what we're going to need to do is get your circle template, and we need to find the other center too. The other center is 1.5 up. That's the other center line. So we're going to measure up 1.5. And then we're going to make a horizontal center line. Long dash, short dash. Remember, your line should look like this. Okay, so now we've found the center point of our circle, and we can use our circle template for our diameter is 1.875. When it says drill, that just means it's drilled all the way through. So we take our circle template, line up our crosshairs, and draw our first circle. Okay, so now we've shown the front view. There's also a split in this block, right? Because there's actually two pieces that come together. So we're going to draw a split line along the horizontal section only. So from here and here, the block is split in half. Alright, now we want to go ahead and locate the center lines for the top view circles here. Those are 0.375 over, which is 3/8 over. So we just want to go over 3/8 on the top on this front view and make our center line marks. So I'm going to go 3/8 here, and I'm going to go 3/8 from the other side over here, and I'm going to just project those vertically. And these are drilled through. That's what that says. 0.25, we've changed this to 1/4 inch. Drill through 2 holes. That means all the way through this object, those are drilled through. So the center line should go all the way through as well. Okay, now we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is show the hidden line for these circles, right? These circles are 1/4 inch diameter. So that means they're 4/8. So if we go over 1/8 from either side, that'll give us the hidden line for the circles. Right, because they're 1/4 inch diameter. Now these lines are just going to be dashed, single space. Right, and they're drilled all the way through, so they'll look like how I'm showing here. You have to stop inside the object. And we're going to do the same for this view. Now I'm going to come back at the very end and darken in all the solid lines. But first I'm just going to draw everything with my light pencil. Alright, well, that's pretty much our front view. The only other thing we need to do now is start projecting to create our top views and our side view. So I'm going to go ahead and create the top view. By doing that, I'm going to take this border line I've made and I'm going to chop that off and stop it at 1/2 inch right here. So we're creating just an upper border right to the back of the object. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line here. And then that references the back face here. So now I want to show that thickness. The face is 1 inch thick. And we're going to connect that. Right, and now, once we make those solid lines all the way around, oops! Yeah, this is supposed to go to here. Remember, we got to do our projection lines. Sorry. Go back. So this line should still be dashed, like we've shown it. Alright, so we've created the border. Now I need to place these holes, right? But the holes are centered, so we're going to make another construction line, right? A guide line that's 1/2 inch. This is the center line for the holes on the top. So we're going to make a center line type. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, and so on. Okay, and now we need to place the circles. The circles are 1/4 inch diameter. So we're going to grab our circle template. And we're going to go 1/4 inch. Make sure that lines up with your 1/4 inch you've made down low. We make our circles for the top. Alright, now we want to do our side view. So to do our side view, we're going to do our projection lines. All the way over. Got our bottom. We're also going to project the top of our circle too. And the bottom of the circle. Because when you're looking at the side view, this direction, that circle is still in there, it's just a hidden line. And the same will be true on these circles here. So we're just going to pick a back to the object. We're going to make this our back face, right, which represents this line here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure over 1 inch because it's the thickness of the line, the thickness of the object. And we're going to connect those. Okay. Now remember, all of these lines in the side view are going to be hidden lines, right? Even this hole all the way through on both ways. So we're going to measure our midpoint here, our midpoint. That's our center line. We're going to make the center line long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Then, right next to that, on either side, this is a 1/4 inch center line. So we're going to have a hole that's hidden an 1/8 inch to either side of that line. That makes it 1/4 inch total. And we're going to dash that as well because it's not shown. Same thing for the other side of the hole. Alright, and then we need to do the same thing for this hole, right? This hole in the side view is hidden too. So those are going to be dashed lines, right? And they'll intersect with the other ones as well. I'm going to come back and make these bolder. Now, one last thing we need is our projection lines for the top view to show this hole, right? That's a hidden line. So we're going to project up. Very light lines. And those lines are going to become dashed because they're hidden. Now all this has been done with very light lines. Do not be using heavy pencils right here because we're going to come back at the end and we're going to darken everything with a strong pen or pencil that has all the object lines, no projection lines highlighted. So now I'm going to darken in the object lines, right? That's the circle and the edges of the object. 1 7/8. So you gotta be careful when using ink. You'll get a little mess up like you see there. That's okay, it happens with ink, but with pencil I can erase that. In fact, let's just fix that. Alright, now those are all the solid lines for the front view. Let's do the same for the top view. Only the lines that are shown we're going to really darken up and make bold. Darken in our holes. Making sure to line everything up right. Okay, and now we're going to darken the side view. Oh, you kidding? I did the wrong one. Let's make sure we darken up the right one. You don't want to get in too much of a hurry. Okay, so that gives us those circles. Now we darken our side view. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to darken with a medium pen the leftover lines. Yep. I'll be done here in a sec. So this is where we need to darken our center lines and hidden lines. Only the center lines and hidden lines. No projection lines should be darkened at this point. Do the hidden lines for those holes. Alright, that's all our hidden lines. Let's do our center lines. Only inside the object we want the center lines. So we're just going to do this little bit here. Okay, and now we want to go ahead and make hidden lines here. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing with the hidden lines on the other view, and then you're all done. Alright, let's do our center lines. There we go. Let's see what else we got here. Alright. Center lines there, and finally our center line for this view. Horizontal.
I got a question for you.